You knew they would come through for you. And just when you needed them most. It was February 1988. I was 17 years old. My birthday had not come. I don't forget anything. I'm a hall. It's a family trait. We have these memories. I'm over the part where I hold grudges now. Pray for me. But it was February 1988. I had a best friend. I'm going to give him a different name. I want to call him Melvin, but I can't. So I'll just call him Jack. I won't tell you. So Jack was my best friend. We did everything together. We hung out, we played ball, we sat in a bench together on the basketball team, right next to each other. We did it all together. He was my boy. I'd go over to his house. His mom would say, "You so skinny. Come let me give you something to eat." I loved his mom. That was my friend too. Boy, she could cook. I loved eating good food, but I loved going there. We would just hang out. He was my friend. And when you have a friend, you can tell them any and everything. So I told him this thing. I said, "Dude, there's this girl that I like. I'm going to call her. I won't call her Natalie. I'll call her. I'll call her Jill. So we'll have Jack and Jill." Yeah. So I told Jack, I'm like, "Man, I'm going to talk to her." He said, "That ugly girl." Now let's pause. Jill was fine in every way imaginable. Wait, let me erase that. Connie, come back. Okay, I got a picture of Connie in my head now. But Jill, 22 years ago, before Connie, BC, Jill was as fine as she could be. Yes, she was. And I was going to talk to her because she sat in front of me in class and I just watched her hair sway and it was just wonderful. Never mind, but it was just good. And I enjoyed it. And I enjoyed her presence, let's say it that way. And I made up my mind, February 1988, to ask her to be my girlfriend. Yes, I did. Yes, I did. And I told that to my boy. He said, "You crazy." I said, "No, you crazy because you don't know what fine is." I went home that night and I practiced because I wanted to make sure I got it right. "Will you be my girlfriend?" No. "Will you be my girlfriend?"
No.
"Will you be my girlfriend?" I had it till I decided which one I was going with. I went to sleep just dreaming about that moment because it was going to be perfect. Jack picked me up for school because we were seniors and we didn't want to ride the school bus. He had a car, I didn't. That was okay. Because I gave him a few dollars, he didn't mind. He picked me up, we went to school. And we're just riding and we're not even talking. And you can do that with your best friend. You can sit in the car, two guys, and not say a word for 30 minutes. And it's okay. Nobody thinks it's weird. So I didn't think anything of it. I'm just sitting there. Now, which one did I say again? Was it, "Will you be my girl?" Or "Will you be my girl? Will you be my girl?" Which one did I say? And I'm just going over that in my mind, and he's over there doing his thing, driving the car. And then, help me, Jesus.
Drum roll.
This brother stops at a florist shop.
Uh-oh.
It was Valentine's Day. Help me, Jesus. I'm about to say something. I was just going to give her myself. I didn't have a job, so I was just trying to make it as a student. So I went over there. Mr. Camera. I sat in the car. He went inside and he bought, get this, Pastor. This brother bought 12 roses. Oh, my. day. One said, I heart you. And the other one didn't have nothing on it. I guess he just wanted a trifecta. And he gets back in the car, and I'm like, who this dude giving this junk to? And he went and handed it to me to hold. So I'm holding it, going over in my mind. What I'm going to say, we arrive at the school, and the moment happened. There she was in the distance. The sun was glistening off of her head. Her skin was radiating. I looked at her, and I forgot what I was going to say. So I just said to her, hi. And she looked at me, hi David, and she walked away. I said, oh man, I missed my opportunity. I'm going to try this again. So I turned around to try it again. True story, 22 years ago, and I still have not forgotten. 1980. That's right. That's right. It started off as a good year, but it got a little shaky in February. I saw, help me Jesus, I saw this brother hand Jill 12 flowers that were roses. I saw him hand her not one, not two, but 3 balloons. Happy Valentine's Day. I heart you, and the balloon that served no purpose. He handed that to me. This is my best friend. And I'm thinking, maybe I missed my moment to ask the question. And then, person sitting by the wall, I looked at them, and they were hugging. Yeah, they were hugging. Yeah, they were hugging. And then they were at it. And I was wondering, how could you breathe hugging like that? And so they were hugging. And I just sat there because just yesterday, that ugly girl, I don't know, girl. And now all of a sudden, I didn't think it was the right time for my question, so I walked away.
Broken hearted.
Yeah. And tears came in my eyes. And I went home and I told Lillian Hall, I said, you know what that boy did? He wouldn't. She said, well, that's what you get. I said, why? Because you're too slow, that's why. It's time to move quicker. I got no sympathy from home. And then, can I tell you that I didn't ride with him to school anymore after that? I rode the school bus. Everybody was like, you're a senior. Why are you on the school bus? Shut up. Okay. I didn't speak to him or her. Lord, forgive me. Jesus knows my heart. I'm better now. But that friendship in my mind was O-V-E-R. Over. You don't stab your friend in the back like that. You don't do stuff like that. That ain't right. Friends are supposed to come through when you need them most. And so, when they sent word to Jesus, he whom thou lovest is sick. Jesus, the right thing, the expected thing, was to get up and make that 7-mile journey and take care of his boy. The Bible says that Jesus stayed where he was for 2 more days. If you ever called out to Jesus, if you ever cried out to Jesus and found that he stayed where he was for 2 more days, if you ever asked him to come through for you, you needed something really, really desperately, and you need it right then, and he doesn't give you the yes, no, or wait. He just doesn't say anything at all. Because he stayed where he was for 2 more days. It's in his ability, it's in his power to answer the prayer, but he chooses to stay where he was for 2 more days. Have you ever experienced it? Then you know how Mary and Martha must have felt. I can imagine Lazarus was getting progressively worse, and Martha and Mary were insisting, Jesus won't let you down. Jesus won't let you down. Jesus won't let you down. Then I can almost hear the labored breathing. I can almost see Martha running around keeping busy, bringing hot cloths and cold cloths to keep his fever down. I can imagine Mary sitting there remembering when she was in a situation like that, when she was about to get stoned and Jesus came through in the nick of time for her. And I can just see her encouraging Lazarus. He will come. He will come. He will come. And the Bible says, Lazarus died. And Jesus was nowhere to be found. Lazarus was dead. You ever had a Lazarus to die in your life? You ever had a dream? Something you started off when you were in your 20s, thinking that you could conquer the world with, but the older you got, reality set in, and your dream, your Lazarus, died. You asked God to do something through you and to you, and your faith was once so vibrant and strong, and you could sing songs loudly with expression because you knew who God was, but then your Lazarus dies. And you resort to singing softer, or just moving your lips, going through the motions. Because this time, I live in a state that's number 50 out of 50 in foreclosures, in bankruptcies. This time in Nevada, it was your house that got foreclosed. It was your car that was repossessed. It was you that lost your job. You paid your tithe. You even paid your offering, expecting the windows of heaven to be opened up some kind of way for a blessing. But Jesus, in your hour of need, I refuse to work on Sabbath. Jesus, in your hour of need, stayed where he was for 2 more days and seemingly left you hanging. Your Lazarus is dead. And there's no Jesus. Then you look around and you see people giving testimonies in church. I want to thank the Lord. I called on the Lord and he heard my cry. And you want to throw a hymnal at him. Bam! See if you hear that. Because the Lord blessed them instead of you. You see somebody, I prayed that the Lord would give me strength in my legs, and I once walked with a walker, but now I can walk, and you want to push them down. See if you can walk now, because God didn't answer your prayer. Your Lazarus has died. And it's the worst feeling in the world. And then there are those people that come up to you and they say this thing, and I don't like what I'm about to say. I really can't stand what I'm about to say. I wish people wouldn't say this to me. I thought you were a Christian. I guess bad things happen to you Christians. Did you pray about it and ask God? Maybe there's some kind of sin in your life. Maybe you need to confess if the Lord's not listening to you. See, things get found out. What's done in the dark will come out in the light. And they start being helpful, but unhelpfully helpful. When your Lazarus